From the famous McDonald's to Wendy's, Burger King, Five Guys, and many other fast food joints, the burger has been a favourite all around the world. But who invented the delicious hamburger? And was it invented in Hamburg in Germany? No, it wasn't. That was a trick question. Hello, and welcome to Curiosity Factor. Today, we're bringing you the history of the hamburger and some other curious and fun facts about this delicious dish. So, let's get started. If the answer to who invented the hamburger would be simple and straightforward, then this video would only be a minute long. But it's not, because in reality, there are quite a few contenders for the title of inventor of the burger. For example, Wisconsin native Charlie Nagreen has claimed to have sold the first burger in 1885 in Outagamie County, which earned him the nickname Hamburger Charlie. It is said that he had flattened a meatball and placed it in between two slices of bread to make it easier for fairgoers to eat. Another story, this time about Oscar Weber Bilby from Oklahoma in 1891, talks about how Bilby ran out of pork for his famous pork sausage sandwich and decided to substitute it with a beef patty, ultimately creating what he called a Hamburg steak sandwich. One more popular story that goes around about the invention of the hamburger brings us to New Haven, Connecticut, where a customer walked into Lois's church in 1900 and asked for something he could eat on the go. The owner, Louis Lassen, improvised a to-go meal by putting a beef patty between two slices of bread and adding cheese and condiments, ultimately creating a hamburger. But this whole deal of chopping and mincing meat, then serving it inside bread, is as ancient as civilization. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the history of the burger spans further than just 1885. There is a 1st century AD Roman cookbook by Apicius, which has a recipe in it that is quite similar to the modern burger. The recipe talks about a meat patty that is blended with crushed nuts, heavily spiced, and then cooked. Later on, in the mid-1700s, Hannah Glass wrote The Art of Cookery Made Plain and Easy, which features a Hamburg sausages recipe, and these sausages were served on toasted bread. In the 1800s, in Hamburg in Germany, yes, we are talking about Hamburg again. Maybe it was invented there after all. I don't know. Just let me tell you the story, and then we can argue about it in the comments below. The city had gained renown for its exceptional beef. Even the less prime cuts found a purpose in the creation of Hamburg steak, a dish resembling today's burgers, crafted from minced beef. During the 1840s, Karl Dreis, a German inventor, revolutionized meat processing by introducing the first meat grinder, enabling the cost-effective production of minced meat in substantial quantities. By 1845, meat grinders had begun to pop all across the United States, a country with a sizable German immigrant population at the time. It wasn't long before these immigrants began reproducing their beloved comfort food for commercial sale. But the true precursor to the burger we love to eat today seems to be this inexpensive dish called hamburger steak, which began appearing on American menus as early as the 1870s. These were minced beef and onion patties that were served on a plate rather than bread, and took their name from the cows that were raised in the countryside around Hamburg, US, not Germany, which provided the beef. With the invention of the meat grinder and its travel to US soil, by the 1880s, hamburger steaks were available at restaurants across the country, and oftentimes these steaks were a staple for locations that also served bread and sandwiches. Given the proximity between hamburger steaks and bread, it seems only natural that the two had eventually evolved into the burger we know today. A few years later, in 1921, White Castle, the oldest burger chain in America, opened and sold their burgers for 5 cents apiece. In 1982, one of the largest hamburgers on record was made in Rutland, North Dakota, and fed over 8,000 people. The dish weighed 3,591 pounds. In 1968, the Big Mac made its first appearance at a price of only 49 cents, and our world hasn't been the same since. The burger is such a huge part of our lives, and it is eaten all across the world in its different variations. For example, in India, where cows are considered sacred, the burgers are made with chicken and vegetables. In Japan, people prefer to eat their burgers without the buns, while in Mexico, hamburgers are served with ham on top. In the US, it is estimated that 14 billion burgers are consumed each year, which averages at about 3 burgers a week per person. How many burgers do you consume in a week? And where do you like buying your burgers from? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you want to learn more fun facts, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again in our next video.